it's easy to love those who love you. It's easy to do that because they're on your side. They're up for your good, God willing. That's what they do. How much harder is it to love those who hate you, right? And I think about Jesus on the cross, and I've kind of joked half-heartedly about this, but it's actually not a joke in a sense, where it's like he's on the cross and he says those words that we all like. That's what made his love. That's what made his love non-condemning but redeeming, when he said, Father, forgive them, for they know what they do. And it's like, I'm thinking, yes, they freaking do. They were the ones putting the nails in your hands and your feet. They were the ones putting the crown of thorns on your head. They were the ones calling you rebellious. They were the ones calling you a blasphemer. They were the ones that were saying, we don't have the power to take your life, but they ended up doing it. They were the ones that took on Barabbas, and they didn't take on Jesus. They knew all this stuff. And yet he's saying in Hebrews, had they known, though, they wouldn't have crucified the Lord of glory. And it's like, do we know that we have the Lord of glory? If we're not loving our enemy, do we have the Lord of glory within us? Do we know we serve that Lord of glory? It's hard because 1 Corinthians 13 is like my litmus right now. I've been going through this book, this chapter specifically. Love keeps no record of wrongs, is not easily angered. Those two things, I'm like, conviction, Lord, keep no record of wrong. I have to let go of things that people have done. And I've done that, but it's like, do I do that with my kids? Do I do that with my wife? Do I do that with relationships I have now? Do I look at people with a filter because I'm keeping a record of wrongs that they've done against me? There's a difference between discernment and a difference between keeping record of wrongs. There's a flesh side and a spirit side. I have discernment. I'm going to put boundaries up. Then there's this other side of us that goes, I don't like them because of what and what, and the Bible commands us not to do that. So real love covers a multitude of sins. It looks at people and says, how do we get Christ in them so he can deal with them, not me deal with them? Like we want our own revenge instead of the Lord's process, in a lot of ways. So it's tricky, man.